Well, afternoon, everybody. It's past 3 o'clock, and 10 minutes after, and we have more to follow up the developing story. Again, the Red Devils' Matt Monaco has pretty much put a cap on such a wonderful first year here in the BFL. He's defeated a defending champion, Kenny Goldstein, and Sparrows, a past champion, I should mention, 71-66. I just got off the phone with Kenny Goldstein, who wanted to congratulate Matt Monaco for a very hard-fought, very good competitive game. It was a great competitive game, and this is not a surprise that it was settled by a very close margin. Many semifinal games in the BFL came down to the closest plays and the final quarter, and this game was absolutely no exception. Matt Monaco had many momentous moments, though. Both players kept the same score. They kept scoring at the similar rates. Matt Monaco scored at the end of the first half. Then, in the second half, to cap off the game, trying to cover his depth, Kenny Goldstein went for a total of 2 onside throws. The first one was futile. Second one was a very close connection, a very close to a completed onside throw, but Matt Monaco's defense overwhelmed the Sparrows. The Red Devils have kept their consistent form in the defensive game, and it's rewarded them big time. Again, it is a rematch of Week 1 between the Red Devils and the Sparrows. In both games, though, the Sparrows are 0-2. Kenny Goldstein could not figure out the rookie sensation. Matt Monaco's gone 2-0 against Kenny in the first year. Now he's going to go against Mark Carpel, the defending champion, on August 21st, next weekend. Next weekend is going to be Gamblers versus Red Devils. The Gamblers have met the Red Devils Week 2, and they couldn't figure out the Red Devils as well. Just a quick synopsis on what Week 2 was for the Gamblers. They played really good. The Gamblers came off of what we thought was injury to him, probably a scuffed up knee. I remember it was a knee issue that bothered Mark Carpel. He was slowed down. He was playing about 90%. Mark Carpel scored a lot of points that day, but Matt Monaco outpaced him. And of course, with his defensive skills, it wasn't too big of a surprise that the sensational Matt Monaco would have passed them in the game. He would have he really came up with an impressive showing, and this has been the story of the year for him. Impressive showings here and there. He's faced championship opponents, gold standard opponents, and he won pretty decisively. Even though, of course, this Week 1, his first match, Week 1, was a squeaker against Kenny Goldstein. He's opened up the gap a lot more by blocking what was an onside throw. An onside throw, again, deciding a semifinal game. Brian Halbing's onside throw came up short in the last semifinal game against Mark Carpel. So, no exception, a very exciting game and a very intriguing game. And that's just a recap. Again, if you have not RSVP'd on Facebook, the Facebook event is now up for BFL Bowl 13. The Gamblers versus Red Devils, and we just came up with a preliminary odds. Have opened. The Gamblers are the favorite at I believe it's -118, and Red Devils at -120, a 113 or a 115, around that region. It's still a very slim favorite. A lot of these games come up very close, and we know both players have had their injury issues. Both players are very consistent, and we know the last game was a pretty decisive win by the Red Devils, but you have to ask yourself, how are both players going to contend with their injuries? How are they going to fare? Will they be in good shape? The game is next week, and both players have to get back and make sure they are revived and they're rejuvenated. This is for the BFL Bowl. Both players want this win. In his 4 straight appearances, this is his 4th appearance for, of course, the defending champion Mark Carpel. In his 3 prior experiences, Mark has only won 1 BFL Bowl. He has had his share of heartbreak. He's had his share of tough fights in the bowl. He wants to be able to win this, but it's not going to be a gimme for Mark Carpel. He's had a tough time winning the bowl, and Matt Monaco, he's going to have a very tough time to hold off the defending champion if his injuries persist. We'll have to see how this goes. We're going to continue this broadcast. This does it for our extended coverage. We're going to continue our broadcast a little bit later tonight. We're going to see if we can get an interview with the Goldsteins. We're going to see if we can get to talk with Jason Goldstein on right here over the line, over the air. We want to be able to see what both the Goldsteins think of what each player has to do to exploit their opponent's weaknesses, what they can take, what the strengths of each players are. It's going to be a very intense conversation, and we want to be able to get that across to you. There you see on the bottom of the screen, 116, 120 is the odds settings. Gamblers are the slim favorite. We're going to see how this all turns out. It's been a very fun weekend here in the BFL, but the end game is about to begin. And we are thrilled to have been here to cover it with you guys. That's going to do it for right now. I'm Alan Wu. This is the BFL.